So today we're gonna plan my week together. So professional students have a lot to handle. There's coursework, there's practice, there's clinical training, there's research, there's other interests outside of our professional training. And then there's also managing our own health. So we're juggling a lot of hats and a lot of different responsibilities. And I think it can be really stressful. I think the thing that a lot of us realize upon our first few weeks of starting professional training is that time is our most limited resource, and at any moment we have, we're not gonna get back. And without the right plan, that can be extremely stressful and it's a lot of pressure to handle. I know for my first 2 years of medical school, I was always trying to make the most of every moment, which is a good thing, but it was like stressing me out. I think now as a fourth year student, I've realized that there's a couple things I can do and that hopefully you guys can do too, that'll minimize that stress. It's not going to eliminate it, nothing really does, but having an understanding as to what to expect will make a big difference. Your calendar is always going to be inaccurate and it's always going to be just a loose guide of what you're going to be doing in a given moment. The one thing that's really lacking in health and medicine is structure, because things can always change. And you want to keep that in mind when managing any sort of calendar that you have. Okay, so we're gonna look at my schedule. I'm looking at my iPad. I'm in split view right now between my calendar on the left and my Notion task master calendar on the right. So I'm looking at my calendar right now, and the only things that I have are things that are mandatory. So I have my Monday research meeting, I have my Thursday research meeting, I have a meeting at 12 on Monday, and I have grand rounds, OR cases, and office work filling out the rest of my week. So now what I do is I take my task list and I prioritize based on the things in my life that are the most important. And right now it's research and medical school. So I'll take this domain, I'll filter it to just be Penn, which is my research year, and medical school, which is medical school. I just started my fourth year first block on reading. And so I know I need to finish a book. I read 30% of this book, the first book, the Checklist Manifesto, which is something I'm really enjoying, by the way. But what I'll do is Sunday morning, I'll just make sure that I knock it out of the park. Okay, finish, checklist, manifesto. And this isn't even a hard deadline, but I'm trying to keep myself responsible. A lot of these blocks don't have any structure, and as long as you get things done, it's fine. But I want to make sure that I'm spreading out the amount of work pretty evenly. Sunday, great. So my gym's open until 9 p.m. on Sunday, so this is actually perfect. I'm gonna go for a late night workout on Sunday, and that'll be great. And in the meantime here, what I can do is I can prepare for a research meeting on Monday morning. Thursdays, I leave the office around 3-ish, so what I'll do is I'll probably work out here. 4:30. And then, oh yeah, I'm gonna be in the office. Great. And then Friday's gonna be an off day, and then I'll work out again on Saturday. I'm gonna try and go in the morning. So I like to build in, there's quite a bit of buffer time here because that's time for me to decompress and get things together so I can switch tasks effectively. And what often happens is this free time that's in my schedule, I end up filling in with studying anyway, but I like to keep it open so that I'm not completely overwhelmed when I look at my schedule. And that's personal preference. Some people like to time block down to the minute. I like to build in this buffer, of course, to relax, to not overwhelm myself. And the third thing is because a lot of things in medicine, as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, kind of take more time than you think. Sometimes I'll stay late in the hospital because the case went long, or my mentor comes back from clinic a little bit later than I thought, or I have to go into the hospital earlier, as I mentioned, if there's cases or something else that comes up. And so having some buffer time ensures that I'm not completely thrown off my super schedule when these things happen. Okay, so this is my schedule. I kept in mind that everything's gonna be subject to change and that the schedule is probably gonna look very different as I go through my day. A couple more tips when you're managing a schedule as a professional student or somebody in medicine. Again, be flexible, but the second thing is to pay attention to it daily. If things are changing up on the fly and you have a moment, just adjust it in your schedule so that you can figure out when you're gonna do the other tasks that you were supposed to be doing. And this is really a good humbling experience that you go through every week where you're like, okay, I need to pare down what I need to do or what I even wanna do and just make sure that I can get what I need to do done first. And there's a lot of stuff that's missing from this calendar. Like this week, I'm probably not gonna have much time to hang out with my girlfriend or friends, which sucks, but I know that I have a huge couple months coming up, and I need to prepare myself as well as possible for those couple months. Okay, I hope you learned something. I hope by seeing me plan my schedule, it helps you plan yours a bit better. If you enjoyed the video, subscribe if you loved it, and if you have any questions, leave a comment. I'm more than happy to discuss this further in the comment section below. Anyways, see you guys next time. Peace.